Here's someone on the steps.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we're live.
Okay, so we don't have a quorum, so we will not have an official meeting.
I think it's Jake. He's an official member now, right?
Yes, he has been.
I tell you what. So who's all of the, can we discuss this part? Who's all in this board? I've never seen that list.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the voting members are someone from the county commissioners, someone from the county council, the mayor, and then a city council appointee, and then Camden and Fora, so just a rep from their town councils.
Okay.
And then NDOT. So those are the 7 voting members as currently constructed.
And the city council has been Mike Isley. I appointed Dave Weckerly since Mike couldn't come, but Dave's having treatments and so forth, so he won't be here this Monday.
So that'll be
So you'll need
someone for that, for
yeah.
Mr. Wardell.
Yeah.
I can't call him Dave. I don't have it in me. He's my school teacher. Mr.
Well,
Wardell.
he won't be there next
Right.
year anyway,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, so that'll be one of the January appointments that gets made at the council. So, you want to take
You're
us
doing
through?
so good there for a meeting or two.
Yep.
We did have, we actually approved a bunch of meeting minutes and non-meeting minutes.
Like 12, did you go through the last 12?
It was more than a year's worth of minutes.
Yeah.
I sent you a lot of information as far as people that were no longer there, that were still on your guys' list,
Mhm.
that haven't been there. So I was hoping that would maybe spark a, yes, I could be part of the transportation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't, so.
Okay. You gonna take us through traffic counts and stuff?
Okay.
All right.
All right, we'll start those. So,
Jake said he's trying to get here, but that only, we still don't have a quorum even if he shows up. We'll
2 of us, 3, so 3 out of,
gotta have 4.
Well, so right now we only actually have 2 voting members, so we have the mayor's position and then the council.
Mhm.
And
If Jake
we don't
comes.
count, well, he's ex officio,
Is he really?
yes.
I thought we changed him as an
I thought we
appointment to
did
somebody.
too. I
That'd
thought
still
he was
only be,
representing the.
still only be 3 though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it,
right.
yeah, so it doesn't
Yeah,
really matter. I think the meeting when Pam was here and we managed to squeak enough people to actually, we had a council person too, a city council person.
yeah.
Oh, well.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
traffic
There's a clerk
counts.
treasurer here too.
So quick overview on traffic counts again. We do these on a 3-year cycle, so every 3 years we take the same locations. We do 65 counts each year. And for 2024, we'll be looking back at the 2021 locations for our basis of where we'll be taking the counts. I haven't yet made any changes to this. This is the map from 2021. So I'm open to suggestions if you have any projects or data you'd like to gather ahead of time for the 2024 counts. And we'll make some small adjustments. We always make some small adjustments just in terms of which stations are gathering useful data, cutting ones that we don't really need and trying to find better locations. So we always make those small adjustments. We will hopefully have this all figured out by our February meeting, February, I think.
Yeah.
And we'll send out a draft of our proposed stations ahead of that meeting, so. Any questions, comments, concerns? You can email us anytime if you think of locations to count, so.
I know we have counted the, in Delphi, the Washington Street, on past the traffic light going out to the north, and I think we should continue to do it because we need the truck counts.
Okay.
the truck traffic counts, so that,
Maybe like an every year kind of thing, just to.
yeah, so that we could have ammunition for a truck route.
Okay.
So, would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely, because there's obviously several, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Like, this is the kind of what I was talking about last meeting. It would be really nice if we had, like this year, it would have been nice to have all these we were running state highway traffic down a county road. If we would have known that ahead of time, we could have put them on, got these counts while that was occurring for a number of reasons to kind of get an idea, what damage is being done to the road. Because I'm sure, I'm not a road person, but I'm sure that something can look good but not be good if it's getting constant heavy truck traffic and it's not made for that. Point one. And point two, just from a safety/transportation perspective, like how state road closures are affecting traffic on local roads. So I don't know what we gotta do to kind of see that.
Can you do interim? I mean, if we have a situation like that where, we find out that the road is, being, well, because NDOT usually doesn't tell you ahead of time. I think that you can, I think Purdue will come out and do some things of that sort.
Yeah, the LTAP.
LTAP,
Yeah.
so that might be, what we should have done.
And the state gives counties that have an official detour off county roads funds afterwards to rehabilitate whatever damage was done. So how they get that, they have to get some kind of data that says this is what it was and this is what it is, because they're not gonna fork over any more than they, have to for whatever. So I don't know how that.
Do you know how that works?
I know that they do it, but as far as how they make those calculations, I've never been privy to that. It's always just been whatever jurisdiction gets an amount that is decreed.
Yeah.
So, but it's a very fair question as to how those numbers are calculated.
Yeah, and certainly accident data would be available. I hope there weren't any, but obviously that.
I know that is not the case.
So that should have some value for future, just to show that there definitely was an impact in terms of that detour.
We're gonna reach out to someone from the LaPorte district, because I think County Road 100 North, after the first closure on State Road 39, 421, 3 years ago, they repaid that. And the way I understood it was part of that payment for that was through NDOT, because that was part of the detour. So I have an old email, because I was asking some questions about something, so I can see if that's something that you, because I don't know the equation, that wasn't.
Well,
anything
I feel like we're getting outgunned. We're just taking what's coming, not, and.
Well, and without leadership at the county highway, without leadership at the
County general, period.
general period, it's hard.
So, yeah, and that was my point, like, if we had an engineering firm that this was their job, and this is what we paid them to do, I think that we could actually get something, because if we can't, we're not gonna sit here and talk this thing to.
Doesn't county
I
have
think the
them?
county does, they have,
Who do they use?
is it, who did Randy used to work for?
Yes, they just do the bridge inspection.
Oh, that's all they're doing now?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know Randy said he stepped in, did some things for when Paul was not available, so, yeah.
Well, that could be something that, could be encouraged, that they actually do engage an engineering firm.
Yeah, and
Don't
without,
they do PACER for the county roads? So the PACER, pavement analysis,
To determine when they get paved and.
so someone's got to do that for the county.
yeah, I don't know who does this.
We use Butler, Fairmont, Seifert for the city, and county.
Even when we had an engineer at the county highway garage, we weren't updated on these kinds of things. And I mean, they may have been updating somebody, but I don't know that anybody's making decisions based off of the data. But I think that there's room to do it better.
No, it's kind of based on whose house is on the road.
They have an inventory, kind of, but they, right now we're struggling to get right-of-way distances. We get a lot of calls that say, hey, where's my right-of-way, so we can do certain things, and it's a struggle to get an answer. So, yeah, there's some challenges, but it's important to have your pacer, so you know which ones are.
Yeah, I mean, that's when they're scoring the quality of the roads, and like, if we don't, I mean, again, that's another good data point, like.
Well, that should be how you determine which roads are gonna be your community crossings projects and.
It's required for community crossings to have
you have to have
an asset management. It doesn't have to be PASER per se. It could also be PCI, which is another.
Right.
It's very similar, it's the same idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some type of rating system.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Okay, so I guess that's all for traffic counts
For now.
for now.
Cameron may want to look at this, a little bit more in terms of the Delphi and see if there's anything else that he'd like to throw in there.
Yeah.
We did.
So if you got that information in January, which will be, well, you don't need to, you want to have it by February, so anything that comes up, you would just need to send that to you.
Yeah, just send it any time before our next meeting, and I'll send an email with the draft version as well before our next meeting.
Okay. We've got Washington Street added.
Yes, we'll add that.
Okay, super. Did we talk about the Andersons at all, about the, about 218 there? Yeah, we did. We talked about the amount of traffic that we get during harvest season.
Yeah. Can't remember offhand, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That could be another one of those ones that we just do every year. But it wouldn't need to be at a particular time of year.
Yeah. And I guess I was thinking while we were discussing, I don't know if we're allowed to do this, but we have accounting gear, and we hire consultants to do that for us.
Mm-hmm.
But, we contract for 65 stations during a particular calendar year. I wonder if it'd be possible to just lend you the gear, and if you have staff that puts out the counters, we can analyze the data. I don't know if that's within the realm of our grant.
It should be.
We can just do that anytime of year you want.
Because as long as, basically, since we own the equipment, we would just be loaning you the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just the air puff, so
Yeah.
it's not the speed analysis and all that, just the count, right?
Well, if you do 2 tubes, you can get speed.
Okay.
Because, so the thing is, when you get 2 right, there's a known distance between them, so then you get the length dimension to when you're getting the hit, so it can math out speed.
You can also determine truck, right? Or
Yes, well, yeah, it gives you an estimate of which of the classifications it is based on the Federal Highway 13 class system, although you shouldn't really be seeing anything near the 13s, the top ones, because those are supposed to be obnoxiously huge, mining trucks and
Like the ones in Illinois that have rows of tires on them?
Yeah, those, yeah. But, yeah, it does give you an estimate for, you can see class 7 trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So could that be something we did, speaking of Andersons, but we got several elevators throughout the county that are, can we do that under you said the 80% threshold, and we're not using that entire 80%, that'd be something we could do, a special project to make sure we're getting our full.
Sure.
That would be so fascinating, seeing how many trucks are 125,000 pounds rolling up there.
The weight scale?
Yeah.
Sitting at the DOT.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking
Well, I
of
mean,
which,
it caused a lot of
I would like
damage.
to add East Main Street, to the counts.
Okay.
We're still getting a ton of truck traffic going through.
But yeah, we can definitely arrange for something, and so I know I'm creeping a little bit into item 3A here, but that's fine, because that's next anyway. So, we did want to talk about, potential future work we can do, so like Cameron was alluding to. So a lot of the work that we do for you guys is paid for, 80% by a grant we get from the state DOT each year, which we apply for in February. So I kind of wanted to get together, elected officials, and I guess you're a little short-staffed on technical personnel, but, whoever would be available that can give us some input on, what you guys would like us to do, because we do have
When is this? I mean, when do you want to have this meeting?
probably around January, so we can pass the holidays, right?
Well, I'm going to do my very best to try to align with an engineering firm before then, so, like that's kind of a short or a tall order in the time frame that we're talking about, but, like we've got to do something, because it's getting, like, we don't even have an asset plan for the highway garage. It's crazy. I mean, crazy. So, yeah,
That's that or long range plan, or,
yeah, I mean, it's,
which is all,
but the previous highway director that was terminated just sold the trucks. Like, we told him no, he couldn't buy new trucks, so he just sold them. And the commissioners wrote off on it. So we don't have enough trucks to plow snow this winter. Like,
It's a tough one.
yeah, so, I mean, I'm just for some context. So if we don't, we need a third party to, anyway, sorry. I'd just like to air all our dirty laundry in this meeting.
Yeah, it seems like it's endless.
Yeah.
Things happen. Yeah, but anyway, so then as far as just the potential future work, yeah, so what we would like to do again is, and we did bring this up at the last meeting, just to make sure that, we are providing you, service that you guys need. Obviously, it is a limited contract, so it's not necessarily gonna be able to provide everything you guys need. But, if we can at least be a partner, and help out with the kind of studies and partnering on, federal grants and helping out with some of the financial portion of paying for road projects, and, we do have some experience in that sort of thing. So, if we can help you with that, and that would be valuable to you. We don't want to give you something that you don't want, but we also don't want you to only get traffic counts if you want more than that. Especially if there's some money on the table within the grant that would pay for 80% of it. It's mostly staff time that you're paying us for, really. So we don't want you to be losing out on that either. That makes sense. So what I'd like to do is sometime around January, get together a meeting just to discuss what we'd like to include in the grant. And I've written these grants before. I write them every year, so I can kind of walk you through like what would be eligible. What activities would be eligible for reimbursement, if that would be helpful.
Yeah, I think that would be a very productive meeting if we can get the right people around the table.
Yeah.
But that's not a small if, but do my very best.
Okay, so that was 3A. So we want to move on to 3B, the 18-month plan list then, or did anyone have anything else on traffic counts still? We're hopping around a little bit to superficial.
All good.
Okay, so for the letting list, so you did have a pretty big group of NDOT projects here that was let in October to E&B paving. So that covers several projects on State Road 25, some pavement, some bridge. And it looks like those are anticipated to be complete by October of next year. And then it looks like there was one other project that was originally planned to let in December of this year, but that got moved back to December of next year. And that's on State Road 29 from 218 South Junction to 218 North Junction. And that is a HMA overlay, so again, it's a work on the pavement. And I was mentioning at the last meeting, but what we kind of see is, so these are mostly NDOT, or these are all NDOT projects, I should say. And unfortunately, because of, factors like inflation, and supply chain stuff, NDOT has had to move around a lot of projects and defer some projects that they would have originally liked to do. They plan these out 2, 3, 4 years. And sometimes we've seen even Tippecanoe County things get deferred just because of increase in costs and not having enough to do everything that they initially wanted to do. So it's something that we kind of do try to track for Tippecanoe County as well. So just note that may be some of the reason why you kind of see a little bit of a gap there between this group of projects that went in October of this year, and then you don't have anything on the list, at least from our database, until September of next year. So a pretty significant gap there, almost a whole year between letting dates. Fortunately, no one from NDOT was able to make it, so they can't give us any further information today, but that is the situation that, as best as we know, we can explain. So
the number, well, I guess, I assume that's US 421 rather than.
I think that.
So the one that is, 2002, 010, it's the third or fourth up, bridge deck overlay, is that the one on South Washington Street here?
I believe so. Because it's just south of 25, right? So that, I think
I'm pretty sure that is, because we have been talking with them about maintaining access to the park and things of that sort, so.
Yep.
Okay, so. And it's a 2025 project, I think. Okay.
Any other questions on this? Again, if you do have very specific questions, we might have to defer to NDOT.
Doesn't look like there's anything major that's gonna shut roads down for months on end, out of this letting list anyway. Do you see anything? I assume that bridge that's that project, isn't it? The walking bridge thing?
No,
No,
this
that would be the.
is the one over
Just right here.
Deer Creek, right on Washington
Right,
Street,
the
so
one
that would
right
be a 2025 project that gets let next year, September.
Deer Creek.
I thought that's not State Road 25.
That's 421.
421.
The 25 one is number.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the one at the top of the list.
The one you're talking about is,
The
I
small
think they took it off there
structures.
because of the re-engineering and,
Yeah,
yeah, it's not on, it'll be
It's not on
2025. Got it, yeah.
we do have a meeting
Yeah.
next week, I think it is, with Hanson to go over the changes in the design.
All right, well, that's everything that we had on our agenda, but if you guys do have anything else you want to bring up, now's the time.
Just keep chugging. You said 4 and 1 setback on attendance. We'll get this figured out one day.
Can you tell if there's anyone?
Watching. Theoretically, we have one person on YouTube watching. And Facebook. Let's find out. Can't tell on Facebook. I don't know.
I see citizen comments and I
Yeah,
wondered how you get those.
yeah, I mean, if anybody posts any comments, I'll see
That
them,
would
but
be, yeah, so it'd be by way of a chat type
mhm.
thing, okay.
Yeah, there are none currently.
Okay. Then I guess we can.
Cameron, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I guess we can not adjourn.
All right.
Yes.
So we have to have a new, are you staying on, or is this your last meeting?
This is my last meeting.
So,